Tonight's story is a test of your observation. Every detail matters. Every silence hides a clue. Listen carefully, because by the end, you'll need to decide who the real criminal is. Scene 1. The missing man. It was a foggy morning when Lieutenant Adrian Miles, a retired naval investigator, drove into the misty hills of Arden Valley. His mission was quiet but grim, to find a man who had been missing for 6 years. That man was Corian Reed, a former dog trainer for the Navy, accused of murdering a police officer before disappearing without a trace. But the investigation wasn't simple. In these hills, truth was layered like the fog, and everyone Adrian met seemed to know more than they said. The first house he stopped at was an old stone mansion sitting alone at the edge of the valley. A woman lived there, Martha Lane, once a well-known breeder of military dogs. Locals called her the Widow of Arden. When Adrian knocked, the dogs barked not like guards, but like soldiers following a command. Martha opened the door slowly. Her silver hair was pinned back neatly, and her eyes, calm, unreadable, scanned Adrian's face as if she already knew why he was there. "Looking for someone, Lieutenant?" she asked. "Corian Reed," he replied. "Your husband." Her lips tightened into something between a smile and a secret. "He left a long time ago," she said softly. "I'm still waiting." Scene 2. The caretaker. Inside the mansion, Adrian met Peter Shaw, Martha's caretaker. A polite, quiet man. Too quiet. He moved like someone used to obeying orders, not giving them. Martha's grown children, who lived abroad, had supposedly hired Peter to care for her. But Adrian's instinct whispered, this man wasn't hired help. There was something military in his posture, something watchful in his silence. Over tea, Adrian asked Peter, "How long have you been here?" 5 years, Peter said without hesitation. "That's 1 year after Corian vanished," Adrian noted. "Interesting timing." Peter's hand froze for half a second over the teapot, just half a second, but enough for a trained investigator to notice. Outside, the dogs began barking again. A wild, synchronized roar. "They don't bark at strangers," Martha murmured. "Only when they sense lies." Adrian smiled politely. But he knew. The barking wasn't random. Someone somewhere inside this house had given a silent signal. Scene 3. The story of the past. That night, Adrian went through the old case files in his in-room. Corian Reed, last seen 6 years ago, after allegedly killing a police officer named Jonathan Cole during a smuggling investigation. But something didn't fit. There was no confirmed body, no weapon recovered. Just the word of one witness, Peter Shaw. Peter had testified that Corian shot the officer and fled. Yet now Peter lived comfortably under the same roof as Corian's widow. Adrian's pen hovered above the paper. Witness becomes caretaker of suspect's wife. Why? The next morning, he decided to visit one more person mentioned in the report, Arthur Pope, a local hunter and Corian's former associate. Arthur was a wreck of a man, half drunk, half mad. But when Adrian mentioned Corian's name, Arthur's laughter turned cold. "You think he ran away?" Arthur sneered. "He didn't run, he was hidden." "By whom?" Arthur wiped his mouth, eyes darting nervously toward the forest. "Ask the dogs," he whispered. "They know." Scene 4. The Malaysian woman. That evening, Adrian returned to the mansion. The sun was setting over the valley, painting the fog in blood and gold. Martha invited him in again, this time without hesitation. She spoke in fragments, like a woman trapped between truth and memory. "I was married once before," she said quietly. "Before Corian, my husband Daniel was from Malaysia. He loved dogs. We used to raise them for the army together. What happened to him?" Adrian asked. Martha's voice trembled, then steadied. "They told me he died." "They?" "Corian and his partner, Martin Potton. They came to buy dogs. A few days later, they returned with news that Daniel was gone. I believed them." Her hands trembled slightly as she poured more tea. "I shouldn't have." Adrian leaned forward. "You're saying Corian lied to you?" She gave a sad smile. "I'm saying he made sure Daniel disappeared, so he could take his place." Outside, the dogs howled again. Scene 5. Confessions in the dark. Later that night, Adrian sat with Peter in the garden. The man's calm mask was slipping. "You were Korean's assistant, weren't you?" Adrian asked, his right hand. Peter didn't answer at first. Then in a low voice he said, "Once. Did you help him kill the officer?" Peter's jaw tightened. "That officer wasn't killed by Korean, it was me." The words hit the air like a gunshot. Peter continued, "We were smuggling trained dogs through naval channels. Dogs meant for combat. That officer found out. Korean panicked, told me to take care of it. I did, and he vanished." Adrian stared. "And then you became Martha's caretaker, why?" Peter looked toward the house, toward the woman standing silently behind the curtains. "Because she already knew everything," he said. "And she didn't want him to return." Scene 6. The return of Martin Potton. The next morning, a stranger arrived. A man with a scar down his cheek and a revolver under his coat. Martin Potton, Korean's old partner. He didn't bother knocking. He pushed open the mansion door and shouted, "Where's Reed?" Martha appeared on the stairs. Her voice was calm. "Gone." "Where?" "Ask your conscience." Peter stepped between them. "You shouldn't have come here." But Martin sneered. "Still guarding her, are you, Peter? You think she loves you? You think she'll protect you when this is over?" He turned back to Martha. "You want to know what your beloved Korean did? He framed your first husband, sent him to prison in Malaysia on fake charges, said he was dead so he could marry you." Martha didn't blink. "I already know," she said. Her voice was so soft that for a second, even the dogs went silent. Scene 7. The dog's secret. That night, the storm came. Wind howled through the valley. Lightning flashed across the cliffs, and the dogs barked until their throats were raw. Peter heard them first, not barking at something, but barking to something. He ran outside, followed by Adrian and Martin. The dogs were all facing the northern ridge, growling at the mouth of a dark cave half hidden behind thorny bushes. Adrian turned his flashlight toward the opening. Something gleamed inside, a chain, a collar, and a human skeleton still shackled to the rock. The initials on the rusted tag read, "KR." Adrian stepped back, the truth snapping into focus. Korean Reed hadn't been missing, he'd been kept. Scene 8. The woman on the hill. Inside the mansion, Martha sat by the fire, stroking one of the hounds gently. She didn't look up when Adrian entered. "I found your husband," he said quietly. "I know," she whispered. "Why?" Adrian asked. "Why keep him there all these years?" She looked at the fire, and for a moment, the reflection of the flames danced in her eyes like living ghosts. "He took my life from me," she said. "My husband, my home, my peace. He lied, killed, and called it love. I only gave him what he gave me, captivity." Adrian's breath caught. "You trained the dogs to guard him. They obeyed me," she said simply. "They always have." Martin burst into the room, gun drawn. "You're insane," he shouted. "You think you can hide this forever?" But before he could take another step, the dogs growled, a deep, united rumble. She just whispered, "Down." The dogs didn't attack, not yet. They waited. Watching her eyes, Martin raised the gun, and the hounds leapt. The lights went out. The screams lasted less than a minute. Scene 9. Truth and silence. Morning came cold and gray. The storm had passed, leaving silence so deep it felt unnatural. Adrian walked through the ruined mansion. Blood on the floor, a broken revolver. But no Martha, no Peter. Only the dogs, calm, watchful, loyal to someone unseen. He followed their gaze toward the northern hill. There, far away, he saw two silhouettes walking into the mist. One tall, one small, both swallowed by fog. He didn't follow, he didn't need to. He had his report. Case closed, subject located, responsible parties deceased. But even as he wrote it, he knew it wasn't true. The real criminal was still out there, or perhaps still in that mansion, hidden behind loyal eyes and silent obedience. Scene 10. The last conversation. 3 days later, Adrian received an anonymous letter, no name, no address, only a note written in neat handwriting. "Lieutenant Miles, you once asked why I kept him. The answer is simple. Some men deserve to vanish, and some truths must stay buried for peace to exist. The dogs will never hurt the innocent. Only those who lie. Yours sincerely." He read it twice, then looked out at the misty horizon, down in the valley. Villagers whispered that they still heard barking at night, long after the mansion's lights went dark. Some said Martha Lane had fled abroad, some said she was dead, and some said she still lived in those hills, guarding her secrets with her hounds. Adrian never went back, but sometimes, when the wind blew from the north, he swore he could hear dogs barking and a woman's faint laughter hidden beneath it. So what do you think? Was Martha the true criminal, or was she simply serving justice the only way she could? Maybe Peter, the silent caretaker, wasn't as loyal as he seemed. Or maybe someone else pulled every string from the shadows. Who do you think the criminal was? Share your view in the comments.